Yes, yes, people. Welcome to Saeed TV and welcome back to another live stream. We are back, we are live. Listen, people, it might be not familiar surroundings for me, but listen, the show must go on, man. You get me? My laptop is in service, people. It's currently in motion. I feel like I've lost someone, you know what I mean, in the family, but listen, it is what it is. We've been 4 years strong. The battery's gone. And yeah, man, I felt like Pep Guardiola when crashed out last minute to Tottenham in the Champions League. But listen, we're here Friday debate show. You guys love it, so we need you guys to hit the like button right now. So right now, I want you to stop everything you're doing right now and hit the like button on the video. We've got the panel involved. Adam and Danny couldn't make it, so big up to them as usual. Charlie, though, you're at Old Trafford. You're there, nice and early. What's happening, mate? Hope you're good.
Yeah. Just sleep. I'm sleeping over tonight and tomorrow, ready for the game on Sunday. Innit? So yeah, all good, mate. As always, I thought I'd try something different in the background. But yeah, trying to convince.
I'm doing very good, alhamdulillah, man. Oh, sorry. Oh, wait, is you still doing your thing?
No. I was just gonna say, I was trying to convince all the United folk to sign more players, and that's why I'm here. But you know, it is what it is.
Absolutely. Kaz, what are you telling me, bro?
I'm just happy I see Baines here, you know. So I'm just happy. I didn't see it. I wanted to see my man. I was like, oh, it's gonna be Osprey. I see. It's like, all right, cool. I see Baines. I'm like, yeah, there's Baines there.
Okay. Baines. What's happening, Baines? Are you good?
I'm good. I'm watching the United under 16s right now in the final. 2-0 up, so not too bad.
All right, okay. Old Trafford or anywhere else? Or
nah, he's in Northern Ireland, I think, innit? Because they always do that Northern Ireland Milk Cup, whatever it's called, every year.
Okay, fair enough. Listen, big up to everybody who's here. Friday debate show, man. Listen, we're here to ask the question that everybody's talking about right now, and it's the transfer window. Statman, I'm gonna start with you, man. How would you sum up the transfer window so far? Like, be honest. Like, this is a platform about honesty. Like, you know, everybody's just saying, you know, it's been good targets so far and whatnot. But for where we were last season, and you have to keep remembering last season, you know, how's the transfer window been for you?
Difficult, innit? Difficult. I think that's the best way of saying it, because I feel like everyone's happy with the free signings we made so far. Clever business done with the Malacia signing, Ericsson on the free. Who else? Martinez, for example, is a good signing. I think he was Ajax's player of the year last year. Yeah. But at the same time, this ain't enough. Forget the Ronaldo situation, for example. We still need another forward if Ronaldo stays in midfield. The De Jong situation, like, that's where I'm like, it's difficult in terms of we've agreed the fee with De Jong.
Yeah.
Like, the Barca situation is just unprecedented times in terms of De Jong clearly wants his money. That is owed, by the way, rightly so, which you can't really blame him. Overall, it's hard to tell, innit? Because I feel like if I had the rating right now, the transfer window is 3 out of 10. Like, it's a 3 out of 10. But at the same time, it's kind of like, this is the first window you can probably say we're clearly going after the manager's targets, innit? Like, these are 10 signings, and that's where I have a problem with, because I said it at the start of the window, like, every single signing you make shouldn't just be 10 suggestion. The scouting team, for example, the recruitment team have to make a suggestion, but clearly they aren't happy with it. I think Myrtle and what's the other guy? Myrtle and Ten Hag said they're revamping the scouting network, I think, innit? So that's probably going to be something we have to look forward to next season. But this season so far, this window has been a failure.
Yeah, it's true.
That's it.
Spot on, man. Baines, check the private chat. You know, Kaz, before I come to you, Charlie, man, you know what I mean? A lot of people, you know what I mean, including me, you know, from what you're looking at last season, it was a disastrous season. Can these three take us to the next level? Or are we relying heavily on Ten Hag and what he can do? Because Lisandro Martinez has had a pre-season. He needs to bed in. Ericsson, obviously, we have to take it precautiously. Again, is he going to displace Bruno Fernandes? Time will tell. And Malacia is still raw. You know what I mean? He needs to adapt to the Premier League. We don't want to put too much pressure on him. Where are you in terms of the transfer window so far? Because I've put in the title, has it been a bad strategy? You know, we'll discuss that in a bit. But where are you in terms of transfer window? how do you kind of sum it up?
Wait, is that for me or Chaz?
No, you, Kaz.
Oh, it's been underwhelming. No one can say it's been amazing. You know what? A week ago, we can say it was amazing. Today, it's not so good. Remember, yesterday ain't today, bro. Like, it's, you know what it is? I think because we spent so long on this Frankie de Jong thing, it's kind of like, it was a sigh of relief that we got a few signings. But when you deep the signings, it's only Martinez, bro. Like, that should be an easy deal to do, if I'm being honest. A free signing Eriksen should have been an easy deal to do. And Malacia should have just been easy from the get-go anyways. Why didn't we just get that done before he decided he wanted to go to Lyon? Do you get what I mean? We need another signing to uplift as us Man United fans, in my opinion. We need something going on. Obviously, when we're seeing potential outgoings of how many defenders, I think? Tuanzebe now, Wan-Bissaka, that's amazing stuff. But same time, for me, it's not good enough. I get it. We're chasing the manager's targets. I love that. And we have to be patient in the same aspect as well. Like, you can't just think we're going to get this player. It don't work like that. But for me, it's like we need to start like we're not getting Anthony, but there's no clear evidence that we're going to be going for anybody else now. Do you get what I mean? Like, who's the alternative? We got to have alternatives, and that's the frustrating part. We didn't even know who Sesko was till pretty much the other day. Most of us, let's be real. I didn't know him.
I think
only knew him off
they
FM.
might have known Charlie and Statman might have known them.
Yeah, I can tell them. I know them two definitely knew that. These men are geniuses. Like, when it comes to that, when it comes to scouting stuff. Look, he's up there for a reason, because he was the one doing the Sesko deal last week that was reported on Wednesday with Murto and that. He's coming in to confirm it. But it's deflating. It's deflating. As the new season's about to approach by next week, I want to see some news hotting up personally as a Man United fan about the right type of player, not just any player, the right type of player. That's just for me, anyways.
Absolutely. Charlie, same question to you, man. You know, you I think, what did you say on the tweet? You said it was a in terms of actual profile, what did you say it was out of 10?
So like, consider like the players that we've actually signed in terms of quality, that's for me 8 out of 10. But in terms of the number of players, I think it's a 4, like, so far, like, out of 10, because, like, as the lads have said, we've chased sort of Frankie de Jong isn't really our fault, but there seems to be a lack of alternatives. I've said on Twitter before a lot of times, this summer's going to be tough. It was always going to be tough. And I'm not just saying that because it has been tough in the end, but we are suffering right now from what's happened in previous years, right? In previous years, we've had the Woodward legacy. We've signed players that we shouldn't have signed. You've got the likes of, as Kaz mentioned, those defenders that we want to sell. You've got the likes of Wan-Bissaka, who should never have come anyway. Telles, who should never have been signed anyway. You've got players who should have left years ago, like the likes of Lingard, Mata, Jones. So this summer was always going to be that summer where we've sort of accumulated dead wood over the years, and this summer we need to get rid of it. And a lot of it has to go for free. So we're not going to recoup any fees we haven't recouped any fees from the likes of Pogba, Lingard, Matic, these type. They're decent players, but we haven't recouped a fee from them. And that's an issue as well, because obviously that can't then go back into the budget. And I know how Glazenomics works. A lot of it doesn't go back into the budget. But anyway, we couldn't put some of that back into the budget for new players. So it was always going to be tough this first summer. I agree with what Statman says. In the future summers, we will need more input from the recruitment, the scouting team. But I think for this summer, I'm happy for Ten Hag to target players that he trusts. I think that's probably the key thing. Like, really making sure that you sign players that you trust. You know, we've had previous managers, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you know, he signed players, new types of players like Maguire. He didn't know these players before. Ten Hag's brought in Martinez. He knows he can trust him. If he was going to bring in De Jong, if we bring in De Jong, he knows he can trust him as well. So I think for this first summer, I can deal with this. But in future summers, we need more sort of involvement from the recruiting team as well.
Yeah, no worries. I just feel like, for me, Statman, what has it been the right strategy for you? You know what I mean? Like, you know, Charlie says there, it was a case of, you know, getting players specific to what Ten Hag wants to do. Again, like I said, it's a good thing to do in a sense, but then also you leave yourself quite short, and then we don't have a plan B, because I look at it right now, I've not seen one plan B. Like, the Timber deal, we actually maybe we kind of like failed in that one, and he wanted to stay, obviously, after, getting advice from Ten Hag. But where are you? Like, what was it a right thing to do to not have a plan B?
The problem is then with the plan B thing is then who do we blame? Because we're clearly getting Ten Hag's targets, and let's be honest, Ten Hag is not a scout in terms of he shouldn't know every single player that we should be going after.
Yeah,
like that's where the club should have done better in terms of the scouting stuff. But at the same time, they said they are going to correct it next summer, or like before that, they said they're revamping the scouting network. So they clearly saw that issue and are changing it. And I think at the same time, it's kind of like we want to back the manager. We've all said that. Everyone's happy with Ten Hag. Ten Hag's clearly, like I said, asked this yesterday. It's kind of like we've seen Ten Hag be very, very meticulous with his signings, kind of thing, innit? They clearly fit his profile. So say if he goes after maybe his alternative, let's be honest, like there's not many players similar to De Jong. What can you do, kind of thing? Your that role that midfield is going to play is going to change. Because who can carry the ball as well as De Jong? Who can connect as well as De Jong? Who's similar in terms of profile to De Jong in world football? Because he's a very unique profile.
Valverde, maybe? But he's not
Really?
attainable.
Yeah.
No.
Not attainable. You get what I mean?
So like that's
I don't
what
like this question either, man.
it's hard.
I don't like that one.
This by the way, yeah, disgraceful. Like any manager, you're gonna go back to your former team or players that you're comfortable with. It's just natural. Like you know what you're gonna get with someone like a Martinez, for example. He won Ajax's Player of the Year. There's no problem in my eyes going after players that you're comfortable with. I said this is when next year United have to be better. Make a couple of suggestions yourself as a club. For example, how maybe Pau Torres was this summer. And then obviously had that conversation. Does Ten Hag want him? Could he work? If the answer is no, move on. Move on to another target. That's how it should be done. Like we saw it with Liverpool, for example. I think Klopp wanted Julian Brandt. Recruitment team wanted Salah. Look how that's turned out. Salah's a Liverpool legend now, probably. So that's where that conversation is very important.
Yeah, it's true, man. And this is the thing, you said you like that question, Kaz. But then again, the question has to be raised because we have to always look at the other side of it. You know what I mean? Yes, Murto now is working with a manager, but then also, what does Murto do then? Does he just wait and then his job is under the line and later on? There has to be a balance. I get we want players that are Ten Hag based, but then that also question will come about. It's not, you can't avoid that question, Kaz. You can't. Simply can't.
No, it's not that. It's not that. It's like too many. Yes, I'm hearing too many Ajax man. Yeah, from that question. He has every. By the way, whoever asked that question, you have every right to ask that as well. It's very, very relevant. But if you're going to go for the manager's targets, he's going to go for targets that he knows and he's comfortable with. So if you're going to be backing the manager, right, he's only going to really know targets from the Dutch league typically, anyways, or what he formally knows. We've only signed one Ajax, man. And that was, as Baines basically correctly pointed out, player of the year at Ajax as a DM centre-back, whatever you want to call it. That's massive. Team that scores over 100 goals per season, pretty much. Do you get what I mean? And then the other man he's going for is only a former one in FDJ. Like, I get it. Van der Beek's at the club. He was at Ajax. Frankie de Jong left that club time ago now. You know what I mean? So there's nothing wrong with that. He's trying to build what you got to realize is that he's trying to build a foundation for us to go forward. We need players that he knows his system already because he already knows he's in the mud right now with the collective of players that we do have because there's a lot of potential of what he needs to build on the squad for it to be what he deems a success. So if I see McFred again this season, I will scream my lungs out at Old Trafford. And you will hear
but
it.
I'm
not joking.
I don't understand what.
I don't think he does. I don't think he does. It won't happen. I don't bring a nightmare in here. This is Saeed TV. I thought this is positivity.
No, it is positive. Listen, I'm positive, but also reality people. Do you expect Donny van de Beek to start? I don't expect. Is anyone here expect Donny van de Beek to start?
Over McTominay? Yeah, over McTominay. I reckon so.
But I'm saying what reality is. Like, guys, do you guys expect McTominay, Donny van de Beek to start ahead of McTominay? Does anyone?
I think tomorrow will give us a good picture.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
If Donny van de Beek starts tomorrow with Fred in that midfield, then I'm pretty sure you'll start the first game against Brighton. If not, I'm not too sure.
Or Eriksen even. I think Eriksen can do it. I get it. Like, if you're going to play the way Erik Ten Hag wants to play, he's going to want players to want to demand the ball and want the ball. McTominay hides. He doesn't demand the ball. He does when he feels like he's safe enough to do so. He's a safe player. He's not a bad. Let's be real. McTominay's not an awful player, but he just don't suit top club football. That's it. He would shine somewhere in the middle clubs. He would do well there. Like, and I hope he does, and I hope they come in for him, inshallah, and everything like that. But what's it called? Hopefully. But yeah, it's not even me trying to be funny. It's just that we can't. They're never. You know, we're scared of the inevitable, and it's like someone correctly pointed out last show. There's few things that would survive a world if it ever went to nuclear war. Cockroaches and McTominay starting for Manchester United. But I can't see it. Please.
Yeah.
Not Brian. How can? Yeah, big up. Go on.
Yeah, big up to Zayn Miasa here. It says it has been bad for you. We got Zinchenko, Jesus, Tielemans, and Sane coming. I don't know if I've heard about Sane coming. Ten Hag has no pull. Players want to play for the future Pep. Players want to play for the future Pep. Wow. So Arteta is apparently the future Pep. So we expect for you to win the trophies then now and win the Premier League then, surely. You know what I mean? If you're putting them expectations up. So listen, it is what it is, man. But big up to Zayn each and every time. Knowledge Anthony, my guy. Baines, you say that now, but if the club do it and it don't work, we'll blame the board and scouts and say they got players the manager didn't want.
No, but that's where I said the conversation is important, because it's not the recruitment team suggesting a player and saying, yeah, that's it. You're going to have a conversation on why you think that player is the right player for Manchester United. Ten Hag will then say, maybe not too bad. Maybe I would want him. Maybe he might fit my profile or the profile player I'm looking at. It's not you're just chucking a player at Ten Hag and saying, that's it.
Absolutely. Big up to everybody who's watching, man. 450 in the chat. Guys, make sure you subscribe to Trafford Tunnel, Never a Foul. And also make sure you subscribe to the Pin Chat Charlie's channel. We're trying to get him to 500 subs, people. So I think, let me know if my audio's all right as well. I'm on an iPad. Is my audio decent or is it crackling?
Nah, it's all right. It's all right. Trust me. There's no echo, so that's the main part.
All right, cool. Yeah, so make sure you subscribe to Charlie's channel. Want to try and get him to 500 subs, people. It's on the Pin Chat. And also make sure you subscribe to Statman Baines. But Charlie, I put blame game there in terms of the whole situation. How do you think Ten Hag's thinking at this minute right now? How do you think Ten Hag's thinking?
Well, we're seeing reports that Ten Hag wants 4 more players. And look, this summer's been...
How much?
He wants 4 more players, according to Samuel Luckhurst, I think.
Shit,
but I don't. I would see that as quite realistic. Like I wouldn't like it. That's probably quite possible. Like if you think of the Ronaldo situation, I think Ronaldo has left us in a bit of a state. To be honest with you, this summer I'm not happy. I respect Ronaldo, and I think Martial and Ronaldo could be absolutely fine as 2 number 9s to go into the season with, if Ronaldo knuckles down. But we've seen in the last few hours, I think even in the last half an hour, I think Napoli are declaring interest in Ronaldo. But lots of clubs don't want him, so I just don't know what's going to happen there. But as Statman said, we need at least 1 forward player, even if Ronaldo stays. If Rashford or Sancho get injured, we're relying on Elanga or Ahmad. And Ahmad is a very good player, a very good talent, but he's very raw. Elanga, for me, doesn't offer enough. I don't know whether he ever will. He does the basics right, but doesn't offer too much more in terms of his technical. So we are a long way away where we want to be right now. But as I said, I don't think this is all the current regime's fault. I think it's previous regimes, previous managers who have made wrong signings. I think it's the deadwood we've accumulated. I think it's the general season we had last season, players devaluing. I just think we've been in a state, and it will take time to sort of get us back to even where we were under Jose. Winning the odd League Cup or Europa League. Although obviously that was fantastic. It's going to take us time even to get to that stage right now, because we're in the trenches a bit. But it's not. I wouldn't blame Man United in terms of the Frenkie de Jong deal. I don't think that's our fault. I'm not happy with the lack of alternatives. Yes, but as Statman said, I think they need to have more say in the future in terms of the recruitment and scouting team. I think they will after Ten Hag's first season. You've got to realise that these people who are coming to new roles, this is the first time they come into this role. This is the first time everyone's working together. I'm frustrated. I don't think our squad's anywhere near good enough. but it's going to take time for these relationships to develop, for Murto to understand exactly what Ten Hag wants, for the recruitment team to understand what type of players Ten Hag wants. It's going to take time. And I think we should use the January window to try and sign another player if we can, another midfield player. So you've got options. I am frustrated, but as I said, it's going to take a bit of time to undo the damage that we've had in previous years.
Big up to Keelan, says Martinez and Eriksen in the pivot, top 4 vibes. I'm not sure if that gives us much balance in there, if I'm being honest with you. But
I think it can. Don't doubt it. Come on, man. If Martinez can be this controlling guy, as he says, because he's apparently dope with his feet and everything.
We need him at the back,
I think
man.
he can.
We need him at the back.
Yeah, you know what? It's the build up. It's the build up. What? It's the build up, isn't it? I think.
Yeah. Well, if you look at where he's moved Maguire to right centre back during pre-season, that tells me instantly that Martinez is going to slot in at left centre back. And on the Donny thing, you know, Donny started against Palace. He only started because McTominay had a knock. McTominay would have played. So I don't think Ten Hag sees Donny isn't a number 8 at his best. He's a number 10 at his best for me. I don't think Ten Hag's in the past he's quoted that Donny
He mentioned it recently as well as it goes. Like I think it was a couple of weeks ago. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Like Donny can play in the 6. He can play in the 8, but Donny is best as a 10. And for me, I think Eriksen could go into that sort of McTominay role, but then you lack a bit of steel in the field. You know, if you look at Fred, Eriksen, and Bruno, that midfield might get physically dominated a little bit. So we'll see. But I don't think Donny is ahead of McTominay. Although I might put him ahead of McTominay, I don't think Ten Hag sees him ahead of McTominay in that.
This is what I mean. Yeah.
I'll be honest, I think there is a discussion to have though, because I can't remember what pre-season game it was where I think McTominay was the only one subbed at half time for Donny van der Beek.
Yeah, last season. Yeah. Last season. Was it like
no, this pre-season.
No, this pre-season. We scored that bad boy goal. And we scored a bad boy goal from that.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Somebody hasn't had a good pre-season.
It was against Palace.
Yeah, so if that was against Palace, that could be interesting in terms of if that was the first up, he clearly sees McTominay as a potential weakness. And even though, like Charlie said, he might see Donny van der Beek playing further forward, he might just have had enough of Scott McTominay and say, yo, you're not doing what I want you to do. And I can trust Donny van der Beek to an extent.
By the way, I think Ronaldo, I think he's just coming. No, that was the next game. He said he apparently had a little bit of a knock. But to be fair, can you really count that Aston Villa game as anything much? It was a slugfest. You can't play football on that pitch. It was awful. It was always going to be a scrappy game. And we should, if it was a normal pitch, you can always say if buts or maybes. Like, feel free to be like, Cash, shut up, you're wrong, innit? But it's like we would have been 4-0 up in that first half against their main team. It's just that when obviously even with the first team and the first 15 in the slugfest match against Villa. Oh, yeah, we looked a bit. We lacked. Fred shows why we can't really trust Fred in a 6, but he's got to do it because there's no one else. We can't rely on Garner. There's no way we can rely on the youngster again. We do that too much, and then they get rinsed, and then the media overhypes them. And you just destroy them naturally. You get what I mean? Because they probably get gas in their own head.
Yeah, absolutely, it's true. Big up to
Ronaldo's time, by the way.
Yeah, over 500 people watching, man. Guys, let's get at least 250 likes, people, man. So if you're watching right now and you haven't hit the like button, please do so. And make sure people subscribe to everyone's channel. Subscribe to Charlie's channel in the pin chat. Try getting to 500 subs, people. Knowledge Anthony says he still can't trust the board to be competent. Well, I don't know if you heard that, man, but man like Alex Ferguson is listen, you know, to be honest with you, I'm not surprised. That's why a lot of people were uproar. I didn't really tweet about it, if I'm being honest with you. About certain things. I can't pull up things. If you can pull that up, Kaz, I'll add it to the stream, but I can't really pull it.
Ronaldo's back.
Hey,
Ronaldo just commented, he's playing on Sunday. Say no more, you know. Come on, man. You just had to get that in, because obviously I'm going on Sunday, and I have to see Ronaldo. That's my guy.
Where does it say that?
Sunday, the King plays.
There you go. Look, the United Journal. Apparently, he's confirmed by Instagram that he's going to be playing on Sunday.
Well,
say no more, man. Might go right there, you know.
If someone talks Portuguese or something like that, please, obviously, translate for and make sure you're smashing that like button as always for if you like Ronaldo or not.
He shouldn't play. He shouldn't play though. If I'm being honest.
No, he should. He should play against Rayo Vallecano, not against Atletico, because Atletico is the first team. He hasn't earned the right to go back into the first team yet.
We ain't got another striker. We ain't got another striker either. Like, if we're being honest, we've seen.
You know when I mean the first team, I mean like Martial is the number 9 for now, innit? Let's be honest. Like Ronaldo's, I think the reports are that Ronaldo's just behind physicality wise in terms of like his body, match fitness, and all of that stuff. It's just natural that Martial is going to be the 9 for the first like Brighton game, for example. But the Sir Alex thing, by the way, I'll be honest, I don't know what his role is going to be in it, so like you can't comment fully. But at the same time, like, really, tell me a good decision that Sir Alex made in the last 9 years, and he's struggling. And I'm not slating Sir Alex, by the way, because let's be honest, like that's not his role. We shouldn't just be relying on Sir Alex Ferguson. Let's be honest, like you just can't be doing that. Just let the guy retire in peace. But at the same time, where I do like it is in terms of what's the guy's name? Richard Arnold clearly knows he needs help in terms of he clearly knows he's not the most qualified footballing guy in it. So say, even though I disagree with bringing Sir Alex in, I think like the report was also David Gill. So you're clearly trying to get certain footballing people around you because you know you're not you need help in your job kind of thing, innit? That's all it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Stats hold my beer. The GOAT is back. Listen, people, he did disrespect us in this transfer window, man. You have to remember that, man. Knowledge Anthony says, does Fergie help or hurt us nowadays?
Wait, Saeed, you're going to boo him on Sunday?
Sorry?
You're going to boo Ronaldo on Sunday?
No, I don't boo players. I don't boo players, man. That's not my kind of style.
You can't boo players no matter how much it is, bro.
The only time I booed like a decision was when Ralph Rangnick took Mason that player off. You know when?
Oh my god, I've got update on that, brother. You know, I don't think you want me to say it either. Yeah, I don't think you want me to say it because it's gonna infuriate half the fan base.
Yeah. No, allow it, man. But yeah, man.
Yeah,
that question, Charlie, what do you reckon? Because obviously we're trying to build ahead. You know what I mean? And Fergie's there. You know what I mean? So when we're dealing with things, do you think the manager's being undermined here, or is it just a case of, you know, Fergie's role out of the kind of the setup is just going to be natural anyway?
Well, I don't really get it. Like, this Sir Alex, obviously he had a very low chance of. I think he had an 80% chance of dying when he had his brain hemorrhage. So this man is lucky to be here in the first place. You know, so I mean, this man has been through a lot in the last few years. And I just don't know why Manchester United don't just say, you know, just take a step back, you know, just look after yourself, enjoy your retirement. If he wants to be involved, he can, you know, let him, you know, if he wants to be involved, what sort of role is he going to have? That's what I want to know. What sort of role is he going to have? Because I just don't, I want people in roles at Manchester United who have got experience in that particular role and understand modern football, understand what to do. And I think Fergie obviously was our best manager of all time, obviously incredible legacy. But if Fergie came back to be a manager now, would he still win the title up against the likes of Pep and Klopp? Well, he probably wouldn't. You know, he probably wouldn't. If he sort of instilled his style that he used in the past, he probably wouldn't. So I think it's time to move on. But what sort of role would he have? You know, is it going to be in the football side of things? Is it going to be on the structural side of things? What sort of advice is he going to be given? That's what I want to know more of. If it's just like if it's not actually, he's not going to be making football decisions, then fair enough. But I actually want to know what sort of decisions is he going to be making. I think that's what's important here. I don't want him to be deciding signings and things like that.
Was Sir Alex Ferguson not on the ball before though? Like, I might be wrong here.
He was a more kind of like ambassadorial role. That's his kind of
like, let's be honest, like in the nicest possible way, that's probably the role he should have in it. Just like be the face, you're a legend of the club, just stay there kind of thing without actually having an effect onto the day-to-day running of the club, innit?
Yeah, I agree.
But we said it kind of thing. We need to see what the role is going to be in it before we can fully say.
Yeah.
I think it's a media kind of like wanted to put things out there and just kind of infuriate the fan base. I genuinely do, man. They're just trying to. It's a lot of scaremongering. There's a lot of like, because we're trying to change the hierarchy right now. It doesn't sell newspapers for them. So to say that Fergie's coming back and whatnot, I just feel like it's just trying to make sure that they're kind of like, you know, upsetting the apple carts and whatnot. And it's just trying to, you know, destabilize Man United at the minute and creating all these headlines. But in terms of transfers now. What do we actually do now, Statman? Because we're not in for Anthony, because the club now said it's deemed too expensive. We have to wait for De Jong to that situation to sort itself out, and we have to wait for Ronaldo to make a decision. Well, he has made a decision, but for Ten Hag. But then again, Ten Hag's not going to make a decision. I still believe a lot of people are saying Ten Hag's going to tell him to go. I don't think he's going to do that. You know, as long as his contract to the club is going to stay. What do we actually do? Because that Sesko deal, is that in accordance to what Ronaldo's going to do, or are we buying in either way? What are we actually doing right now?
I said, like, I don't know what United are going to do, but I think this is what I said yesterday with you. Like, no matter what, even if Ronaldo stays, we're still going to need another striker. Like, we're still very weak. For example, like, let's be honest, you can rate these players all you want here, but Martial has an injury record. Ronaldo's what, 37? He had a couple problems with his hip last year. He's going to be another year older. You're going to need to rest Cristiano Ronaldo. You're going to need to rest Martial if you just had number 9 kind of thing. I think by November, we would have played like 17 league games. October, I think we got 10 games in total. You're playing a game every 3 days. So that's ridiculous. So that's what I said. Like, this club needs to be stronger in their stance in terms of no matter what, you have to go get a striker. You can't just be relying on what happens with Ronaldo, because this one is Ronaldo has way too much power in this situation, by the way. The fact that the club are even waiting, just act yourself. If Ronaldo stays and you got Benjamin Sesko still at the club and you got Martial, let the best man win. And let's be honest, like, in my eyes, Ronaldo's still the best out of the 3. You should still be able to have full faith in yourself in terms of you're going to be the starting number 9. That's what I'm saying. Like, the club need to kind of stop waiting for other people. Stop waiting for other deals to happen. Just move yourself, kind of thing. Be proactive instead of reactive. That's the main thing.
That again, Kaz, you know what I mean? Because we're now reacting to stuff now, is that concerning thing? Because we are going to react to what happens with De Jong instead of maybe, you know what I mean? Because I don't think we have a plan B for that. There's a lot of reactive stuff happening. Has that been a good strategy this window, or
it's been different?
Yeah, go on.
Nah, I'm sorry to that. Yeah, it's been different to what we used to. That's all we can say. It's been different. I thought it is really reactive. I'm just being patient, if I'm being honest, because if anyone knows anything about Manchester United in the last 10 years, is that you're not going to get who you want, and pretty much it's always a slow process with Man United, typically getting stuff done probably towards the end of the window, if anything, or right at the start. We don't really see that. We haven't seen that now, but we need to put a deadline on this De Jong thing, man. I'm not joking. So? Yeah, we need to, you need to full spot. I get it. I like what Murtough's doing with the whole being patient thing. It's all in Barcelona's hands now. Agree the fee of a player. That just tells me you wouldn't agree a fee with the club, sorry, not the player, if the player has informed you that he wants to join. If he wants to join, then you agree a fee, right? It's all probably done. It's just waiting on this. They can't register their players until they get some sales in. This Laporta guy is an absolute repulsive pollywally, man. Compulsive liar. That's what I like to call it. But it's just the joke, man. Like, he's saying, "Oh, we're trying to keep everything to keep him." We need. It's not even just on that as well at the club. Wait for that if you want to do it, but that doesn't mean you stop with the other targets. Who's the alternatives? Like, I got alternatives in my head, but I'm sure the board has got alternatives in their heads as well. But you can't just keep. It's squeaky bum time's gonna come sooner rather than later. You got to think how quickly a month goes by in this day and age, especially when you're eyeballing transfers and the TL you can say as well on Twitter or whatever you want to call it.
Well, I've got a question for you, Lord. When do you think then we should pull out the De Jong deal then and look for alternatives?
I'd give it another week.
I think it's too late.
I'll give it a week. I'll give it 1 week from today.
I think it's too late now. I think you just got to stay, because any club that you go and get Neves now, how much is Neves worth right now in the market?
60, 70.
There you go.
Not worth it.
It's not worth it.
They're not the same type of player either. As Statman said, there isn't the profile. Like, when people Tielemans, to me, I don't really rate Tielemans that highly. Neves doesn't really fit the same profile. Sangare doesn't fit the. There aren't, as far as I know, I don't think there's many profiles that match De Jong. So we can't pull out. We've just got to hope that we get this done. we have to. I just don't see any alternatives.
Apparently, the alternative is going on the opposite direction of a profile and guy and get someone like guy who's been linked for like last 3 years. I would love that guy, but apparently it's Milinkovic Savic is the next alternative, and that'll change everything. I'm not listening to what Twitter says. I can't see that being that's not a Ten Hag type player. I would love the guy, don't get me wrong, but it's just not the guy. I'll be looking at someone like Fabian Ruiz or Sangare, just not as a centre mid, as a DM. Or Kouadio Kone. I want that guy personally as well.
From Bristol Mönchengladbach.
Yes, okay. He's a big baller.
This was the one as well that we missed out a couple of years ago. Is at Atlanta now? Has it hit the heights? Has he though? If you look at it really,
wait, I got a question by the way. If we don't get De Jong then, and we don't get any alternatives, for example, does Ten Hag then deserve some blame?
But this is the whole point of the thingy. I did say blame game, but I also said in terms of, has this been a bad strategy? It's all about strategy for me. I get we wanted specific players, but at the same time, it falls on Ten Hag because it was his kind of targets. But again, criticizing and blaming someone is two different things. But you also have to hold yourself accountable. We're not trying to say Ten Hag out or ludicrous ideas like that. But what I'm just trying to say is that, has it been a wise decision, or should we have But then again, for what midfielders we've got, I blame the previous managers and the previous regime because they haven't got options. I
was going to say on that as well, Saeed, as well. You can criticize Ten Hag for the options because he wants to build his foundation correctly, how he knows he's fit, but you have to blame the board at the end of the day because they got him in way too late. They didn't have a clear strategy, as we're going to talk on strategies from, let's say, Feb or January. You should have got him in then. You should have had everything agreed by then, ready to set up for him when he does come in the doors. Didn't have that. Too many outgoings, too many of this in April, and then May he comes in or whatever the time was, or late April if I remember. It's just Man United being Man United all over again, and that's what we're gonna have to live with and deal with. And can you blame him for wanting his targets only when the other targets that come into the club absolutely stunk up the gaff as well, as much as the board?
Exactly, it's true. Big up Kellis for these quotes. Chris Wheeler, very very reliable in terms of Man United news. Ferguson spoke to Ronaldo when the player and his agent held talks with Arnold on Tuesday, but it's understood to have been a brief chat when the player approached his old manager. MUFC sources insist the encounter was a coincidence because, shut up, man. Coincidence, mate. Are you kidding me? I hate this coincidence. I'm sorry, man. We lost 5-0 to Liverpool and Fergie came in the next day. He comes in when there's crisis. When there's a crisis, he comes in. So don't give me this nonsense. It was a coincidence. I'm sorry. And obviously, Fabrizio Romano has tweeted some things out as well here, which I want to read out. Because Fergie's lunch meeting had been in diary for some time. However, it's understood the venue may have been switched to Carrington so Arnold could meet with Ronaldo and Mendes. Yeah, what are you guys thinking with that one? Coincidence that Fergie was just around and you just,
No coincidence, man. You don't meet by coincidence in a massive stadium, do you?
This was the one.
Wherever they were.
He was fitting his suit. That was the thing that they were saying last time. He was coming in because of his suit and all that. Come on, man. Just say that you're bringing the top dogs because you want to keep Ronaldo. And it's just that person. When I was in school, as a teacher, my approach might not have been the right one. But then all of a sudden, another teacher comes in and then the kid's working hard. It's just different. People work with different.
Well, you got the head teacher to scare them, yeah?
No, not really. Just different kids, different teachers and whatnot, and certain ones they don't like that because it's different methods, isn't it? And it's just a case of, Ronaldo loves Fergie, he adores Fergie. It says here, Southampton David Gill and Brian Robson will advise Richard Arnold on a wide range of issues, which include the redevelopment of Old Trafford and Carrington, MUFC's relationship with the fans. Yeah,
that's good news. That would be good news, but that's not a coincidence. That's not a coincidence, though.
Yeah.
What does that tell you? That shows that happened on purpose.
So what is this new board then, Statman? And this is not a dig at you, by the way. But what is this new board if they've...
I'll be honest, I don't know. I genuinely don't know, what... I can get Richard Arnold wants help in terms of having more footballing people around you, but Brian Robson... Sir Alex Ferguson.
He's on MUTV, this guy, Brian Robson.
Exactly. I'm not having a dig at these people, by the way, because obviously they've done great things for the club, but why?
Yeah.
Like you should it better not undermine the footballing people at the club, for example, innit? By having the like influence kind of thing.
Yeah. It's crazy.
David Gill I can kind of get because I think he operated in a similar role to what Richard Arnold was. Or Richard Arnold is right now in the past, innit? So I can kind of understand why you want a bit of help from him. But Sir Alex, Brian Robson, I can't. I don't understand.
Yeah, it's baffling, man. Big up to Shavam. Saeed, you are one of the few ones who called Ollie out for his freestyle tactics. No serious football club would have given Ollie the job. Ollie settles 10 years back by introducing mediocrity and failure. Kaz, you know what I mean? When you look at the squad, you know, I was talking to Premsy before, big up to Premsy, and we were talking about like, was 3 players? Is that a joke when you look at it? When the amount of players that have left, Charlie, when you look at the amount of players that have left, Charlie, Pogba, Matic, Cavani, Lingard. Whether you like about if the quality or not is good and whatnot, still though, it's a joke that we've only bought 3. One of them was a free. One of them we hijacked. Let's not be real. We hijacked the deal. Leon, if Leon had anything about them, they would have got Malacio. And then the Lisandro Martinez, I'm going to give credit to the football club. We got him, or maybe overpaid, but listen, we got him. When you actually balance it all together, it's been a very, very bad window, man. Like, let's be real.
Yeah. It's disappointing that our net spend is around £55 million. Obviously, we sold Pereira to Fulham and we signed Malacia for around the same fee, so that sort of equals out. Ericsson's a free, so we've only signed, in my eyes, we've only net signed 1 player. We've only signed 1 player on net, so it is very disappointing. We're also looking to get rid of Tellez. It looks like some French and Spanish clubs are interested, according to Jonathan Schrager. So hopefully we'll get rid of Tellez. We'll probably make another 30-40 million from sales the rest of the window. So look, we've got so much. Well, apparently we've got the money to spend that the manager needs, as Arnold said when he met the fans. But I don't see it. You know, if we were really that bothered about, for example, a right back, we're only not signing a right back right now because Wan-Bissaka's still here. If Wan-Bissaka would have gone already, we would have signed a right back. It's 1 out, 1 in. This is how. Well, it's actually not. There's more players out than in, but that's what they want to do with the current squad members. They won't sign another player until another one's left. So yeah, it's just it is frustrating. But we needed. I always say we needed 6 players this summer. If Ronaldo leaves, we need sort of 7 or maybe even 8. But we've only got 3, and I can't see us getting 6 the way we're going at the moment. But as I said, I'm trying to be patient.
Yeah, no, I think we all are, man. We all are trying. Big up to you, Knowledge Anthony, my guy, always supporting the channel. Appreciate him, man. The board is still Glazer. The board is still all Glazer family, Arnold and Murto. I think my employing Thurgan Gill will help them build, but we're just going to the past. Exactly. Absolutely spot on, mate. Glazers have got to fund their cricket club now. Well, this is it, man. But, you know, again, Sesko, Kaz, you know what I mean? There's maybe 1 or 2. Anthony deal. How much is the attack for you a concern as well? We're looking at the midfield, but 1 injury to Martial, Rashford, and Sancho. And then we've got Ahmad, who I think a lot of people, I don't know why they're turning on Ahmad when I feel like with Ahmad, the only reason why we're turning on Ahmad is because A, has that game time, but also the options are shit. And that's why people are just having to go at him and saying, you know, what's he doing at his football club? And is it a viable option as a backup? But I think it's harsh. You know, I mean, Palestrina had no game time. Again, you know what I mean? The option's not great, but even at attack, man, you know what I mean? No Anthony. Are we not going for Elise? Why don't we go for Elise then? Why don't we go for...
That's what I wanted, man. I'm glad we got rid of all those players, if I'm being honest. Obviously, if I could have kept Pogba, I'm a Pogba advocate, man. I don't care what people think at the end of the day. I like talent. But some people like Passion FC, but what I like is that he's trimmed. You can see by that traveling squad to Oslo is what he's showing to the board is like, look how thin my squad is. He's trimmed it up, rightfully so, because we've been complaining about the same players for years. It's been right to get rid of some of those players, but it's right to replace them at the same time. Whether you've got your couple youngsters, but you need the signings. Maybe they're looking at youngsters as possible. I like Laird. I really do, and I really hope he stays injury free. I reckon we don't need a right back. I'll give him the chance this season. Why not? I think he's a big baller. I just think it's a place we don't need to spend money on potentially, but at the same time, we do need to get rid of Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He's not in the squad. Varane didn't come due to, I believe, coronavirus stuff. Like apparently you need certain stuff. That's the reason why he didn't come. And if you count that, there was a 21-man squad there. What that shows me is that he's showing the borders. How thin is my squad looking right now? Look at that attacking option. You're right. Who comes on? Like, who's going to be our savior if one of them gets injured? Rashford or Marcel, God forbid, and whatnot. Or if Ronaldo was in that squad, it's Elanga. And what he's showing is that Ahmad is going out on loan. He's not in that squad. He put Pellistri there. That's probably actually all the few wingers we have: Garnacho, Ahmad, Pellistri. Pellistri is probably the one that's really out the most. Ahmad needs a better loan. I feel like he needs a better loan. But again, I'd still give him a chance if the option was there slightly. But Pellistri is more of a direct winger. We need that, if anything. But he's not the answer at the end of the day. But yeah, I don't know why we're not looking out for someone like Michael Olise. Half the money of that 60 million quote, or it's 30 million release clause, isn't it? If correct me if I'm wrong.
35, I think.
35 million. That is right there. A similar profile to what you want in Anthony. Left-footed, he's young, upcoming. I think he's the same age, if anything.
Yeah.
And he's mint, and he played in the Prem.
Maybe we should have went for the Bowie stat man. You know what I mean? Like,
no, but I said that with that signing, he weren't for the first team. He would have been an academy under 21 signing.
I can't lie, look good, but they're not going to sell Elise. I'm not going to lie to you. They've got big plans for him. But again,
what if they've got a release clause? You can't do much about it if you got a release clause in there.
Absolutely. Before I bring Charlie in, Ronald Jacob, big up to you, Ronald. Appreciate the super chat. Said, explain to me, are people okay letting Ronaldo go and rely on Martial? Ronaldo last season 18 goals, and Martial's best season is 23. With struggling United, Ronaldo got only 18. Can Martial do the same? I want to bring that question to you, Charlie, man. You know what I mean? Can he do the same? But again, we're going to see a different system, aren't we? Where we're relying on multiple players scoring goals.
Yeah. Well, I said this last time. When Martial plays, you could play Martial on the left with Ronaldo at 9 and Sancho on the right. But when Martial plays generally, Man United play better football, and Man United will score more goals. The Martial of late, yes, we know he's had injury concerns. We can't rely on Martial on his own. But I think Martial looks like Ten Hag fancies him. I think Martial is one of our better attacking players. But we definitely need a signing if Ronaldo leaves in that striker position. If Ronaldo stays, I can get by with Martial and Ronaldo as a 9. I think that's okay. But yeah, we can't rely on Martial. But it's not all about, people think if you replace Ronaldo with Martial, like people only look at the individual. That individual, can Martial score as many goals as an individual? But that's not how it works. It's what will Martial bring to the whole team and bring to the other players around him that might improve the team or make the team worse. So you've got to look at it. I always say I think Martial should start the season as number 9. And I think Rashford and Sancho and Bruno will all play better than they did last season. I think they'll score more goals between them because they've got a better link-up play striker in Martial. That's my thoughts. I think if you play with a more balanced team, with better link-up players, when you sustain pressure in the final third, when you have players that make better decisions, that don't shoot from 30 yards, that pass the ball from side to side instead, look for openings, you'll score more goals, you'll score better goals. That's what Ten Hag wants, and that's why I think Martial will be wanted under Ten Hag.
Sesko, Statman, would you be happy for him coming in for 50 million? Be honest, like, is he worth 50 million to you? Or is that just what they want?
No, like I said this, like with the Sesko sign, you're buying potential. You're not buying a player for the now, even though I do think he can do a half-decent job. You're buying a potential of being one of the best strikers in the world in terms of how highly he's rated. But at the same time, like, he's still relatively unproven. I think everyone can agree with that. I think 50 is pushing it. I think if another Bundesliga club comes in next season, for example, is it going to be 50 million or is it going to be less? I don't think Red Bull Salzburg had the plan of selling Sesko this summer, but the max I'll probably go to is 40 million euros or something. And that's probably just because, let's be honest, we are starting to panic a little bit. There's a month left. So you're gonna have to slightly pay over the odds, kind of thing.
But again, it comes down to strategy. It's not great, is it, man? You know what I mean? Let's be real. Like, were they actively looking at Sesko for a while? Is that part of the?
I can't lie. I think there was an Austrian report. Apparently, 2 years ago, we made a £1.6 million bid, didn't it? So clearly, the scouting network did know about him, kind of thing, innit? And let's be honest, like anyone that knows anything about youth academy football, like how do you not know about Benjamin Sesko? Like that's the question I would ask. And I said this before, like I think Real were looking at him. There shouldn't be a big club not looking at Benjamin Sesko. Like it's just a fact.
Yeah, big up to everybody watching. Over 700 you guys watching. People, hit the like button, man. We're only on 250 likes. Let's get it to 300 people. So literally, if you could help support the channel, hit the like button. You know what I mean? And yeah, make sure you go pin chat. Make sure you subscribe to Charlie. We're getting to 500 subs, hopefully before the end of the video. Make sure you follow Trafford Tunnel, Never a Foul. And also make sure you follow Statman Baines. But like I said, Kazman, it's an interesting, week. We got a week left to the season start. Sunday, this time on Sunday next week, we're playing, man. We're playing against Brighton, who I don't think are pushovers, and we've got to rely on Ten Hag ball because it's literally the same. I think it's crazy to think, yeah, but the same team could play next season that we started last season with. Like it's actually, I just find it baffling. Like, I'm positive, but at the same time, I just find it crazy that the same team could play like the following season.
Nearly, but let's face it, Brighton at home, it don't matter what 11 they come out with. Our 11 are better than theirs on paper all day long. And they just lost Basuma. That's a massive part, and they're about to lose Cucurella as well, potentially in the first game as well. Got to take advantage of that. I mean, you should be smashing them 3-4-0. I'm not even kidding. I want to be seeing 3-4-0. I want to be at Old Trafford, be watching Stretford, and I want to be seeing 3-4-0. It should be, for me, I'm not going to say Graham Potter's going to be a walkover because he's not, but he plays attacking football naturally, right? So naturally, we should be beating them if they want to get done on a counter or something. I reckon Martinez is going to be, if he does start, I reckon he'll be absolutely colossus. You think he can't deal with their striker? He's small and agile himself.
3-4-0 is a bit too much, man.
No, but we done it before. What was last time? What was the scores last time with Brighton as well? I think we might have.
Man, and
did we not lose 4-0?
So if we did we not smash them?
We also lost 4-0.
2-0 at home.
Oh yeah, but come on, man! I come on, Rangnick tax and all that, man. Come on, man! I'm not joking.
Listen.
I want a fast start. Maybe 4-0 was a bit steep, but when you're losing someone like Cucurella, who's just handed a transfer request in, and Basuma, who's gone as well, and they haven't really had the best recruitment so far just yet.
But they do end up replacing players well. Caicedo and the other midfielder, is it
Moebu?
Yeah.
Moebu.
But they're not
They want to sign
Basuma.
that Grilic guy. You know that Grilic?
Oh, Grilic, yeah, on the free,
yeah.
innit? Yeah, but they haven't got him yet. So right now, currently,
That's true.
Look, I don't know. Look, I'm not saying I want to expect a 3-0. Of course, I want to see that. I don't want to see it in style, man. Like as well. At the same time, I want to see some progression in our play. Sesko as well. On that note, I'm paying 30 million max for him. There's no way an Austrian club can have us giving us 30 million pounds. No way an Austrian club is giving us the runs. I don't care. 40 million. You're basically saying you need to be starting them, mate. Like if you're talking about pounds, but he's what profile that guy would be, man. Honestly, even as I said, I don't know much about him, but
I don't know
that skill alone between Milner and was it Curtis Jones or something? That's an extra 5 million alone, man.
What I mean.
But no, I expect to win. I expect to win against Brighton, and because they're a bit weaker as well right now, that's why I can say I can kind of expect a 3-0 maybe potentially as well at Old Trafford, especially if all our new signings are adapted well to the system that he wants with around the players and obviously controlling the game, because Brighton's biggest aspect is controlling the game, man, and hitting on a counter sometimes with Lamptey, but we'll see. It's hard, man. It's hard. Why should we be worried? Why?
Big up to She Devils in the chat. She said it's a 2 out of 10 window. But Stanley, with this Ronaldo situation here, if he's gonna play on Sunday and keep playing, like what would you do now if you're Ten Hag now? Do you just like act as if it's normal, because he can leave at any time, by the way, but he'll just be training to show what he's about and then kind of leave for a club at any minute. Like, what do? Like, it's kind of weird. Like, you don't start him in the first game of the season. Say we kind of like don't have the result we want to, and then he's on a bench, and then he kind of doesn't have the same impact. What do you do with Ronaldo right now? Because I just find it a bit baffling now that he's making up stories. He's saying he's ready. Ten Hag hasn't given an update. He's kind of saying updates while the club hasn't said updates. It's a bit of a mismatch, isn't it?
I don't know what Ten Hag can do. Like, I genuinely feel sorry for him because he clearly wants Ronaldo to stay. His only other option is Martial. Clearly, Ronaldo match fitness wise is not ready to start against Brighton. So Martial starts. Ronaldo's on the bench, and then Ronaldo just has to like eventually get his match fitness up, and then may the best man win up top in it. Competition for places, and then if he does leave, and we don't have a striker, then that's on the club.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a difficult. Like, I don't know what Ten Hag can do in it. Like, I don't know how else he can handle this situation.
Yeah, it's a tricky one, isn't it, man? Like I said, big up to Don F said, hear me out. Give Ronaldo more money, make him feel important, and let him run out the last year. Bottom line, this is a mess. Is that a good strategy there?
What does this achieve though? Like, I don't think Ronaldo's incentive is money.
No, it's not. It's not.
Yeah, so I don't get what this achieves with the Ronaldo situation.
When did Ronaldo become a blogger leaking team news? Brother, that's another thing as well. He's just leaked the team news, really.
Not really. Like, let's be honest. Like, we know Ronaldo's playing on Sunday. Samuel Locker said it in the morning. Ten Hag would have said it tomorrow in the press conference.
No, but that's the whole point, though, Statman. He said it before the press conference.
But you're playing Real Vallecano. You're playing Atletico Madrid tomorrow. You know Ronaldo's not playing tomorrow. He's not in the squad.
No. I'm sorry, Statman. I have to hold you there. He hasn't even trained, and he's saying that I'm going to be in the team. Nobody knew he was even coming back.
Listen, you're playing Real Vallecano. Why do you care that much in a friendly?
No, but I'm just trying to say.
And you know Ronaldo's playing. You know Varane's playing. You know Baye's playing.
We don't know Ronaldo's playing, though. We don't know Ronaldo's playing.
Saeed, man.
I'll be real. I want him to leave. I want him to leave, bruv. I want him to go.
No, but I think everyone wants him to leave because he wants to leave.
No, but Statman.
Yeah, let him go.
Right, that he comes out and says, well, I'm playing on Sunday. And then everyone's thinking, hold on a minute, you just want to leave. And then you're saying you're on Sunday. I get he's contracted, I get that. But he hasn't trained, he hasn't played any preseason tour.
Yeah, but he's eventually going to have to play though.
No, but then it's like...
Well, you're going to put him with the under 23s or something and make him train by yourself when he's still an employee at your club?
Not at all, but just wait for the managers to talk about it. Wait for this. Like, he's just kind of saying on Instagram as well, like on the comments, I don't think it's his I don't think it's him, it's his team. His PR team is. Like,
don't get me wrong, he probably shouldn't have done it, but I don't think it makes a difference. Like, no matter what, we're beating Real Vallecano.
I get it.
And it's a friendly. Results don't matter.
Charlie, what do you think about that? Like, when I was just coming out and saying, I get the lies because you want to protect your name, but just coming out and say, yeah, I'm playing on Sunday and that, like, wait for the manager, man. Like, wait for him, the gaffer, to announce things, innit? Like,
yeah, like, you could sort of predict that we didn't know for sure, but we had a prediction that he might play, right? He might play because obviously we know he's not going to travel tomorrow, and we know that, as Statman said, he's going to have to come into the fold at some point. The reason why he's going to play tomorrow on Sunday is because nobody wants to sign him. There isn't a deal out there that he wants.
Yeah.
But that's not true, actually. That Saudi Arabia club, I think, wanted him. That there might have been clubs elsewhere. Napoli are slightly interested, possibly. But there isn't a deal right now that Ronaldo wants and another club want to sign him. There isn't that deal on the table. So, look, I like Kaz said, I wouldn't be unhappy to see Ronaldo leave. Again, this is another consequence. We shouldn't have signed Ronaldo in the first place. That is the end story. We shouldn't have signed Ronaldo in the first place.
Get that comment off the damn screen. That's blasphemy right there. I see what you did. All right, cool. You got jokes, yeah? Say that. All right, cool.
No, I just listen. It's one of them, man. Like, I think I don't know, man. I don't know about you guys, but this Ronaldo situation, for me, it just looks messy, man. It looks messy, Statman. Come on, surely it just looks messy. Like, it looks scatty. It looks like Instagram playing, and it's like it's
like you're not listening. When have I not said this situation ain't a joke? When have I not said Ronaldo's not at fault? When have I not said the club's not at fault? Everyone has to take responsibility here. Like the way this situation as a whole has been handled has been crap.
And you know what? You did say it before, which is a very, very good point. Like Ronaldo's in control, like of every single situation now.
And whose
like,
fault is that? That's not Ronaldo's. That's the club's. The club are the employer. Like,
Nah, he needs a dip, bro. He needs a dip. I'm not joking. For himself, his own sake, for what he wants, he's taking the club for a joke. And you know what? And Man United are taking it as well. That's the thing. That's the difference. And as you said, Baines as well, man. Everyone has their own faults, and everyone has to blame themselves or whatever it might be. But at the end of the day, for the better of the club going forward, he does need to leave. As much as it needs to happen, because you've come out publicly, or not publicly, should I say? He's come out with the agent, and it's been clear to know that you don't want to be at the club. But he needs a hard reality check. No one wants you, big man. No one can afford you. Actually, I don't even think, even if people can afford you for 300k per week, or no one wants you, bro. You're stuck here, whether you like it or not. Now get with the program, or just shut up. And he has to. You're 37, 38. I know he's never gonna see this, but do you know what I mean? Like, nail down. Do something.
He needed that humbling, innit?
Yeah, he needs that reality check, and he hasn't had it yet in his career. And I feel like it's happening to him right now. He's having a midlife football crisis going on in his life right now, thinking like, is this really the end of my career? And to be fair, I don't think Messi's doing 15 goals past your UCL record, and maybe he's going to get more assists than goals, if anything, rightfully so. And second of all, do you really want to tarnish your legacy? You'll be known way more for bringing Man United back on their feet if it ever does happen, inshallah. And that.
Wait, someone said Ronaldo's legacy. Someone said Ronaldo's legacy will be tarnished if he stays. Let's be honest here, football fans are fickle.
It's not tarnished.
Ronaldo scored 3 goals in 3 games. Everyone celebrates.
Yeah, football fans are fickle.
Yeah, exactly. There's no way you can get it tarnished. Ronaldo's got his legacy is ridiculous. Ridiculous. He's a legendary player of the game, man.
Look at it this way. Everyone's criticizing Martial. Martial scored 3 goals in pre-season. Everyone's back to Martial FC. And you're telling me football fans ain't fickle.
Yeah, that's Twitter generally though. That people who have got sense, like that's Twitter. Yeah, like people who like I will always like Ronaldo. Right, I will always like Ronaldo. Like, if Ronaldo scores, I'll celebrate the goals he scores. Right, I have respect for him, but you can have respect for Ronaldo and understand he's one of the best players to ever play the game. But you can also say, I'm not happy with how he's handled this situation. I'm just not happy with how. And like, it's a new start under Ten Hag. I was happy for Martial to leave. By the way, I said on this show many months ago, I said Martial's had his time. If the manager doesn't fancy him, let him go. It's the same with Ronaldo. Same with De Gea. The only player I'd be sad about losing at the end of last season would probably be Sancho. If you would have sold any other player, I wouldn't have been that bothered. Like, these players have not turned up for us, the majority. So respect Ronaldo for what he's done in his career, but I don't think he has put himself in glory this summer. And I think he's, as you guys have said, reality check. People just don't want him for the drama he brings, for maybe the ego he brings. Self-centered. He's a top football player. He's going to go down in the history books, but just now, I think we need to move on. And if he stays, I'll support him. But I do think he needs to move on.
Yeah, you know what? Can I add on to that 1 second? By the way, there's like over 600 people in here, and it's not even half the men that are in here. It's not even over 300 likes. Like, please double check. Double check for Saeed. Just click the fun for him if you don't mind. And he's giving you good content here pretty much every day or every other day. Like, he's on stream 24/7. It's just like likes go a long way for YouTubers, isn't it? At the end of the day, for content creating. So be appreciative. Obviously, if you just double check that, if you don't mind. I'm not gonna do that. But he needs to take a leaf out of Zlatan's book as well. I think someone meant Zlatan didn't come and be like, I need to win this Champions League, or I want to be in the Champions League or anything. He didn't even win the thing. That guy's got elite mentality as well. Came in, he actually put Man United back on a pedestal after winning that Europa, and we should have kicked on from there naturally, to be fair, and we didn't. We got it wrong. We got it wrong because the board is wrong, and probably the wrong manager at the time as well. Maybe he should have backed what the manager wanted. Technically, maybe, I don't know. Mourinho was obviously discussing football. He's on his way down anyways in the bucket list of managers and whatnot. But I think he should take a leaf out of that book. And yet, look what Zlatan's doing. Yes, but he's earned his way back into that AC Milan squad, and he's accepted his role there. And at his age, rightfully so, and he brings something different to the dressing room. The thing is, if you keep Ronaldo and he's on board, you've got someone that can mentor players, and not just that. If you're on board with a manager at the same time, you could do a lot more for this club mentality. You could talk about the dressing room and controlling it and making sure people listen. If you really want to build Manchester United back to where we should be, he could be very vital. I'll back him as well. If he stays, I'll back him. I don't care. Even McTominay, I'll scream and shout when he scores and celebrate, even though I don't want him at the club. I don't think he's good enough. But at the same time, I think as you're saying, everyone knows he needs a reality check. And I feel like he's having it currently, right now, as we speak.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if this is true. Letting people know.
Oh, no,
fake.
that was a fake. It was fake. It was fake. It was fake. It was fake.
It got me. It got me earlier.
That is fake. But it just shows you, man, this window, man, it's just letting us down, man. Don F says we either let him leave or we stroke his silly ego. Oh, sorry, the silly ego. Again, it's big decisions, man. And like I said, with the season about to start, man, you know what I mean? It's going to be a lot of questions, you know what I mean? Everyone else, apart from Chelsea, everyone else looks a bit settled. You know what I mean? Chelsea, you know what I mean? They're the ones that are kind of a little bit like us. You know what I mean? Are we kind of like maybe thinking that we're underplaying what Ten Hag can do, or can you turn water into wine? Can Ten Hag turn these players into like durable footballers? Like you seen Fred in that second half. Second half wasn't great. Like, can they do it? Like, can they flip a switch and be good players under a system?
They'll look better, but Ten Hag ain't a miracle worker. I feel like we said it before the other day. Like Ten Hag said, like a coach can't perform magic. Like he's not all of a sudden gonna make Scott McTominay one of the best midfielders in the world. It's just not gonna happen. Like you need some sort of ability to make the manager improve you. And don't get me wrong, some players do have the ability in the squad. Look at Jadon Sancho, for example, last season. Jadon Sancho showed glimpses. He's better than what he showed last year. And so far in pre-season, he's going to look better under Ten Hag. But overall, man, like we can't just expect a lot from Ten Hag. Like he needs the backing, he needs his players. Like we're seeing with Thomas Tuchel, for example. Like you have to feel sorry sorry a bit for him, because like let's be honest, he's not going to make Timo Werner a good footballer all of a sudden. It's not going to happen. Sometimes a manager just needs his own players. But I do agree, like we do have an underperforming squad, innit? We don't have a crap squad entirely. We have a lot of players that underperform. And with better coaching and a better system, they're naturally going to look better.
Facts, bro.
Whether that's enough for top four?
Facts.
I don't think it is.
We just got to remember as well, man. Like, are you supporting Manchester United? Are you supporting Ronaldo? Are you supporting Ten Hag? Or are you supporting what the players? Yet again, you got to think about that logically as a Man United fan. Like, what are you really supporting? You could be a football avi with Ronaldo as your fanboy and be all of that, but then are you really doing any justice for Manchester United? Like, I get it, man. It's hard to let go of a legendary player. It's hard.
But I think the thing is, Ten Hag wants to keep him in it.
Of course he does, and he's not going to come out and say I don't want him, because he's come out and said I want to keep him.
No, but internally, it seems like from all the stuff we're hearing, Ten Hag does want to keep him in it.
He does want to keep him, of course.
Which is why, like I said it, like Ten Hag clearly has a plan. Ten Hag clearly has a plan for Ronaldo.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when Ronaldo's here to perform the plan, that's a different story, isn't it? And in my eyes, I said it, he shouldn't be here because he don't want to be here.
It's his clutch player, bro. You need clutch players at this. And if anything, if you think about any clutch player at this squad, there's only one, and that's Ronaldo. He's going to get you out of sticky times. The guy you're going to bring off the bench if he can accept it or start against a certain team. Do you get what I mean? When you need a goal, you need to call on that guy. He will be the clutch man, and he'll be vital in the season for that. That's the difference. That's why it's hard.
One question before we go to this question here. Charlie, does Ronaldo accept being a bench player if he does stay?
No, not for the majority of the time he won't. He will want to play most games. We saw at the end of last season, Ronaldo's link-up play improved. Ronaldo looked a lot more sharp when he was only playing one game a week. When Ronaldo was playing more games in a week, he wasn't looking as sharp. Towards the end of last season, some of his best performances at home to Spurs, away at Arsenal, they were when he was playing once a week, when he was more fresh. So what you've got to look at with the World Cup, I think I don't know whether it's in October or November. I think it might be October. We play something like a game every 3 days on average. We're going to play. So you're going to have to rotate Martial and Ronaldo if they're both number 9s and we don't sign anybody else. You are going to have to just rotate them every single game. Every 3 days, you're going to have to rotate. So he won't accept being that, but for the majority of the season. But he is going to have to accept that he cannot play every game. He cannot start every game.
Yeah. And this question here's the question. Would you rather play Martinez at DM with Maguire at the back or Fred at CDM. It's a very tricky situation because we won't have. I don't think we'll have De Jong come the start of the season. Obviously, we've got till September to get that done. But you know what, man? It's a tricky one. You know, the defensive partnership, like Lisandro along with Maguire. Does that work? Is that a good balance? Lisandro with Varane. Is that a good balance? Like, what would be your back two, Statman? If you had to pick two at the back, who would you be?
I think everyone will probably say Martinez and Varane, innit? But can you trust Varane?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah.
Like, it allows you to play a higher line when you get, because you got.
No, I don't. No, I don't mean in terms of
I get what you mean.
performances. In terms of injury.
In terms of injury.
Yeah.
Oh, and then you got to put someone in the squad. Then you have to get with the squad, and obviously the chemistry has to get built again. I reckon if he can stay fit now, like obviously Varane's not coming over not just because he's not good or you don't trust him. It's just facts he can't come over due to COVID reasons. I would go with. I can't lie. When you got Lisandro, I've been advocating for. I've been for Martinez signing DM, but when I think about it, if you got someone that can control the back line, control the ball, he can pass the way he passes, like he can spray it over to the flanks very well and with good pace as well. At that, it allows us to play a higher line, and then that might allow Fred to actually perform where he does best in the other side of the pitch. Do you get what I mean? To win the ball back potentially, it might be worked like that as a thought process. I reckon Lisandro and Varane, you can play a high line. You have the ability to do that. You got Malacia can cover inside a little bit and help the low where he wants his inverted fullbacks. It's just bring on the season, man. That's all I can say. Just bring on Brighton already.
Yeah, absolutely. But I just quickly to you, Charlie, what would you do?
I can't trust Varane. A lot of people like Bailly. I'm not actually a great fan of Bailly. I think he's a bit too rash. I don't think he's actually very good on the ball with his passing. I think he can drive a bit, but I think he's too rash, not reliable. Varane's not reliable. That leaves you with two centre halves, and the captain's going to play. So it's going to be Martinez and Maguire, I think. But when fit, I would play Varane, but it's the when or if that's the problem. Varane. But again, people looked at last summer and said Varane was a good summer. That's looking like a dreadful summer now. Last summer. There's probably only one good signing in there from what we've seen so far, really, in Sancho, and what we're going to see in the future. If Varane doesn't adapt, then I think Real Madrid have snapped us off, really, for that deal.
Absolutely. Listen, we're going to wrap it up here, people. There's 19 likes until 350 likes, people. We could get that. Surely we could go and get that, people. So everybody who hasn't liked the video, please go doing that. How many subscribers are you on now, Charlie? Do you know your count now, or?
I don't know. I think it's still 300 and something.
Yeah, let's guys. If you're watching right now, make sure you go and subscribe to Charlie's channel, Pin Chat. We're gonna keep it plugged in every week, so we're gonna make sure we plug that up and help support Charlie and get into 500 subs, and then it's road to 1K, and then we just keep growing the community, man. You know what I'm saying to Charlie, very, very good. Make sure you go subscribe to his channel. And yeah, Kaz, let them know as well. You got anything coming up?
Yeah, tonight we got Never a Foul. Obviously, I'm about to go on a Gal show. So if anyone wants to see me on a Gal show, that's up to you. But tonight, at 10:30, we got Kopish and Huey from City Extra on his own channel, 1894. So they're just going to be doing so we're going to be doing a preview of a build-up for the tomorrow's game on that. So yeah, man, you get to see obviously Drifty, Callum, and so forth. So yeah, man, that'll be a good show, definitely. Other than that, people just need to join the Discord. We need, you know what it is? We need more Man United fans up in that Discord, man, because there's a lot of City fans joining. It's right there. Like it'll be nice to see quite a few active Man United members giving it back a little bit. It's a fun Discord. There's about over 150 people. I just kicked out about 40 man because you can't be disrespectful in that Discord whatsoever. Absolutely. So yeah, man, I appreciate anyone that does come, and obviously blessed for having me on.
No worries, man. No worries. And people, make sure you go and subscribe to Statman Baines. You got anything coming up?
Don't think so. Might do a show tomorrow after the Atletico game.
Yeah, cool.
That's pretty much
make sure
it.
you go check that out, people. Make sure, people, I'll be doing a watch along tomorrow if this iPad can take it. So make sure you go and check me out tomorrow. I think I'm going to go live at about, let's see, when's kickoff? 12:30 kickoff, innit?
12:45, I think.
It's
Yeah,
12:45.
12:45.
So I'll be live about 12:15 people, half an hour before the game. So make sure you come here and make sure you come and watch along. And then obviously Sunday I'm going to be at the game with Statman Bays. We're going to be at the Rayo Vallecano game. Nobody else going. Charlie, you're not going, are you?
No, not going in. No.
Sure, you don't want a ticket now? Ronaldo's playing.
Shut up.
You know the tickets are gonna be gone now.
Yeah, they're gone. Well, they're going to be going definitely now. But again, maybe that was from the club. Maybe the club told him, yo, listen, put that out and then get more ticket sales. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. Listen, it is what it is, man. But listen, we're going to wrap it up here. We've hit 350 likes. Big up to everybody. And also, people, I've got a Fantasy Premier League. I don't know if Kaz, can you go on my Twitter right now and just pull up the Fantasy Premier League, my tweet for the Fantasy Premier League. Yeah, I've got a Fantasy Premier League, people, and whoever wins it gets £100. So if you win it, £100 comes your way end of the season. So it's a good little incentive.
Did you want me to click on the link?
Yeah, share
Or
it.
do you-
Show people.
All right, cool. So here we go.
And then
Boom,
put the
boom,
link in the
boom.
chat as well, so people can.
Yeah.
Right, all I'm saying is Saeed's not winning it
Why?
because I've seen your team.
You see my team? I'm gonna show you my team actually. How do I? You know what? Someone, I'm gonna send it you Statman right now. Yeah, and just put it. 1 second. Let me show you my team now. This is my team, people. But yeah, let me show you. This is the.
I don't have a fantasy team.
So
I don't know.
there's the fantasy people. Get involved. Go onto that link there. There's a code there. Hit it, and then obviously, Kaz, if you can put the link in the chat for me.
I can't find the code. I clicked it and it's just sign in. I don't do fantasy league, innit?
All right, cool. Yeah, that's fine.
It actually there's no code. It just says fantasy.premierleague.com.
You should have put in a bigger pot. Listen, if they want a bigger pot, we'll see in it. But for now, it's £100, and then we'll you know what I mean. We'll see what's going on there. Yeah, Statman, you got the picture?
Yeah, wait.
Yeah, I'm gonna quickly show you mine, and you have to show your one as well. You know that.
I ain't showing mine.
Listen, show your one, man.
Why?
Just show it, man. It's calm.
I say there you go. I put a thing in there. People can click on that link and it's straight.
Yeah,
It's
click on the
directly
link.
straight to the link.
Right, let me add. This is my team, people. Put it a bit bigger.
I said Nico Williams.
Yeah, Nico Williams, man. I'm telling you, he's gonna do bits at right back for Nottingham Forest. Saliba, Dalot, Alisson. I might change it back to Edison because he gets more clean sheets.
I like that team.
Alexander-Arnold.
I actually quite like that. I like that team.
No, you don't, man.
De Bruyne.
I kind of do. That Jesus gonna get goals and assists. Haaland's gonna get goals. Gordon, I don't know about that one, but he does typically show up forever. Luis Diaz inevitable. De Bruyne, Son inevitable. Dalot, I don't know about that. Yeah, man, it's all right, man. Alisson's gonna get clean sheets. Yeah, man, it's not a bad team at all.
Right,
I want to see Statman's.
No comment.
No,
Nah. I can't let anyone copy my team, yeah?
but no one knows gonna copy it though.
This guy, man. Wait a second.
Just show it, man. Listen, we're just out here, man. People get involved, man. The link is here.
Here's my team. I sent it to you the other day, innit? This is subject to change, by the way.
Yo, you chat.
Is this the team? Diaz, James. Oh, that's bro. That team is dirt, bro.
No. You know my team is better.
Martinelli.
No, is that your team, Baines?
Yeah.
Like, that team is say all that back five is getting got assists and clean sheets. Facts. I don't know about Sanchez getting packed in first game. I don't care. Neto probably have a good season. Martinelli, I reckon he will pop up with a few. Salah, inevitable. Haaland, Jesus. But he's got Son in that though, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying to you.
Yeah, but he don't have Salah. How can he not have Salah?
Is Martinelli and Neto going to get enough goals though? That's a problem.
Nah.
They're both good teams. They're both decent teams, I think.
Now Martinelli will play on the left hand side, innit? Because who else do they have right now?
Yeah.
Unless they play Smith Rowe there.
Yeah.
And Neto's look good in pre-season.
Yeah.
And Salah, how can he not have Salah?
It's a good team. I'm not gonna lie. Who would you put in? Would you take out Cancelo or who is that?
Wait, what's your bench?
That's the big one. That's
It's
the
not
big
really
one.
matter
Who's
right
coming
now,
on?
innit?
Leon Bailey, I reckon, is
He's
going
got
to
Andreas in there.
I got
Herrera,
Drake.
4.5.
No, he went all out for his first
Preseason
11, man.
third.
You gotta respect it.
Yeah.
They're both good. They're both good, man.
Good team.
Yeah, they
man.
are. They are.
You know the thing with De Bruyne is, yeah, he doesn't start the season like strong, but it's Haaland, isn't it? That's why I had to get De Bruyne. It was a lot of money, man, but I threw it all on De Bruyne, so it is what it is, man. But listen, people, we're gonna wrap it up here. Make sure you guys like the video on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Tomorrow, watch along 12:15. Make sure you guys there. Guys, we're out. Take care.